Hello, everybody. Oh, I turned the mic on. Awesome. Normally I get about 10 minutes into the stream before I realise the microphone's been turned off. So hello. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Solstice.
Yeah.
Whatever holiday it is you're celebrating, or if you're just enjoying the fact that you get the day off work or school and you get to eat some great food surrounded by friends and family. Enjoy. Or I hope you have enjoyed if you've already done it.
Should we check and make sure? Yep, we have volume.
Hooray! This has got to be so far, and there is still plenty of time for things to go horribly wrong. But so far, this is probably the least awful stream we've done in terms of technological issues.
It's a Festivus miracle.
It's a Festivus miracle. We watched too much Seinfeld. Is what we're getting from this. Hello to everyone in the chat.
Let me just take a drink from my coffee cup.
Which is very poorly displayed on our green screen. One day, when we don't have to stream from our bedroom.
Let me just stretch.
We'll be able to set up a decent screen with decent lights, so you won't kind of get this weird fuzzy thing going on. But I think we've done okay.
Yeah.
I'm pleased.
Well, we are Digital Hammurabi, in case that was in any way unclear.
Hooray!
And we are I'm sporting some of our Chandice, not merch.
Our 11-year-old calls it merch, and Josh flatly refuses to do that. I like to call it a hoodie, but I'm boring.
But it says Digital Hammurabi on the back, and it's got 𝀭on the front.
And
so
everyone wants 𝀭on their clothing.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, I'm getting my tea. Tea.
I guess we're doing some product placement for Starbucks.
Well, no, because the Starbucks is facing me.
It's right there.
Oh.
No, it's good. I mean, I don't see why that would be bad. I'm sure they would like product placement. So, no, it'll be really nice when we actually have a place that we can get lighting correct.
Oh, your mum's watching. Hello, Terry.
Hey, Mom. How are you?
We will organise a mug for you.
Yes,
that
indeed.
Can happen. Yes, so today, in the spirit of Christmas and gift giving and all things Mesopotamian, which is what we do, we are going to go through some of the Amarna letters. We've talked about these a few times before. We did a stream on the non-sec about letters in Mesopotamia, and we read some of them. They tend to be long and a little bit stilted in their language. So unless you've spent a few classes translating them and getting to the bottom of what they're actually saying, they're not always terribly interesting. So my lovely husband here spent some of the morning translating them from literal translations into vernacular English.
Before we get to that,
truncating them because they're long and confusing. Yes. So
before we do that,
yes, go for it.
I have a couple of announcements.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So
see, look, you can. My mug is see-through.
Oh, really
look.
Oh.
There's a mantelpiece, a fireplace on my face.
It's magic.
Oh, sorry.
So we are very excited that Aaron has invited me back on his show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard to talk about the Book of Daniel. And I put a presentation together, and actually I scripted this time before we actually made plans to go on. So I've actually recorded the video presentation for the video that's going to go up. It's going to be very similar to what I did with the Ezekiel 26 video. Obviously, I won't be doing a script on Aaron's show. That would be extraordinarily boring, both for him and for you, I'm sure. But no, it should be really exciting. And we're going to talk about the dating of the Book of Daniel. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. Ellie Dobson, Dr. Ellie Dobson will be coming on, and I'll let you talk about that.
So Dr. Ellie Dobson is an old friend from my undergraduate days, actually. And I hope she's okay with me sharing this, but we met at the Gilbert and Sullivan Society in Birmingham University, of which I am a founding member. Exactly. Actually, that started when I was in my master's year, but I am a founding member. Very proud to be so. And actually, so is Ellie. And we met there and sang chorus together for a year, maybe even 2 years. We did a lot. I remember being a pirate in the Pirates of Penzance and stealing her because I sing alto or tenor, so I get to be a boy. Anyway, she's an old friend from way back, and she got her PhD in English literature, also at Birmingham, and she's currently teaching there. And her specialism is Victorian England, and currently she's researching the reception of Egyptology and Egyptian artifacts in Victorian England. She did a talk a while ago on Howard Carter. I think that's his name. I certainly hope that's his name.
Jimmy Carter.
Not Jimmy Carter.
Not Jimmy
Who
Carter.
excavated the tomb of Tutankhamun. So she's going to come on and talk to us about Victorian England and Egyptology, and it should be very exciting.
Pip, pip.
Exactly, and you get to listen to two people with British accents for an hour and a half, which is apparently a good thing.
Oh, it's good, girl. Hey, we have a super chat.
We do!
I want to go, every time I see it, I want to go, super chat. Does anybody get that? I don't know, it's Saturday Night Live reference.
Probably.
Sorry.
So Akos Eris says, do Christians still have to say Merry Christmas today, even if we know he was probably born during the summer? I don't know if we have to. I'm going to keep saying it.
The Council of Constantinople requires it.
Oh, by law. Fair enough.
Thank you very much for the
Yes.
super chat. $5. It's awesome. Right. So, talked about the Daniel video. We're going to be going on Apologia's channel, which should be really cool if you want to see.
Early this year,
Yeah.
next year. I think we've arranged to record on the 8th. It obviously won't be live on the 8th, but we're going to go on his ham and eggs show.
Flippin' ham and eggs. By the way, if you don't want to get that stuck in your head, tough. I mean, you're going to have to. I don't know. By the way, there was a comment in there. DLJ wrote, Aaron, who's Dr. Bowen Ra, which was so funny. Hey, that guy has so many people that he has to interact with. I don't remember me, and I interact with myself all the time. So,
I remember him, luckily. We'd be in trouble if I didn't.
Right. And one more thing before we get started, if you do want a really cool,
That will probably work better on your green screen than it
Yes.
does on ours.
Digital Hammurabi cup or the hoodie, Paige saw this one and went, I want one. So we got her one. Piper's getting a t-shirt. But if you want that, if you go to our website, digitalhammurabi.com/merchandise, which I really wanted to just call it Chandice, but
I forgot.
You're the coolest ever. She's made it easier to sort of navigate the Teespring.
Teespring drives me nuts. Math Magic Pagan is asking if I will get a character on Paulogia. Yes, I believe I shall. And actually, Paul mentioned that maybe it should be a breastfeeding Megan, which I think would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I tried to get him to put me in a two-piece, but he said that he wanted something that would have some clout, academic clout. I don't know. So he put me in a blazer, whatever. But
we have before we start, a random question about the Book of Daniel. I've heard some people are saying it was written in the 6th century rather than 1st or 2nd because of certain references. I'm a little confuzzled.
yeah,
As well you may be.
yeah, and this is actually what we're going to be talking about in the stream tomorrow. So that's a really good question. Sort of as a teaser, the book itself purports to be written during that period, which is something that's very, 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 very common in the ancient world. The Book of Kohelet is one of those things, one of those books, but lots of books feign antiquity, and there are some things that we're going to talk about that I don't know that to somebody that believes in supernatural prophecy, I don't know if there's a way to prove definitively things like this, but I think that we can make a strong case. Scholars have made a strong case that that Daniel was written late, and we'll talk about those things tomorrow. So it should be exciting.
All right.
And if you have questions, obviously put them in the side chat, and we will try to watch them.
And we'll get into the letters, and afterwards, when we're done, I want to talk briefly about some exciting stuff that I have planned coming up for the new year, which I think is really exciting, but we've been talking for, an hour, I think, and haven't actually done any Mesopotamia.
But I can do this. Wait, watch. It's the product of my wasted childhood. Sorry, Mom. This is what I was doing in my room by myself. Just okay. Anyway, I can also wiggle my ears, but poor Oliver.
Why don't you read? So Josh is going to read the original, the first of the letters we're doing. Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Oliver's just woken up and he's going to scream until I get him.
Okay, so to sort of remind everybody what's going on, the Amarna letters are this really cool, these letters that we found in Egypt. Man, look at that fireplace. I'm getting kind of warm. Okay. I love this green screen thing. I'll never get used to it. So the Amarna letters were written during the second half of the second millennium, and this is a period of time where you don't have one major power that's over all the other powers. You have a bunch of individual powers that are being diplomatic with one another.
It's kind of like the UN.
Yeah, it's this international diplomacy, and it's actually one of the first international, clear examples of international diplomacy. Anyway. So they write letters to each other, and we found the tablets that preserve some of these letters back and forth. So actually a bunch of them. So we're going to read today from the letters between the big powers, what they call the Great Powers Club. And the internal logic to these letters is that they're writing to try to keep up these diplomatic relations. And one of the ways that they do that, other than just the letters, is they send greeting gifts back and forth. So I thought it was appropriate for the season. The interesting thing about...
Technically, we should have waited till Epiphany.
We should what?
That's just the Episcopalian in me.
You're not Episcopalian.
Well, I'm close enough.
You're Anglican.
Anglican, sorry.
Anglican. Look at this mug. It's pretty cool.
Also, you can see the Christmas tree through it. This is really fun.
You're so immature.
Believe it or not, we're both stone cold sober right now.
Stone cold sober.
Don't put ideas into their heads.
I won't. I don't even know what that is. So, what was I saying?
We were talking about the Amarna period and the letters and greeting gifts.
Yes. So, giving gifts today, we sort of have the idea, at least in theory, that like we're trying to do something nice.
It shouldn't be about reciprocity. It often is, but we have a kind of a cultural understanding that it should not be about reciprocity.
Right. This, not so much, which is why I decided to call it Show Me the Money, because that's what they're saying over and over again. So if you know somebody or somebodies that tend to give you gifts, like Michael Scott, for example, who gave, what is it that he gave? He gave an iPod to Ryan. That's a Secret Santa.
Man crush right there.
And got an oven mitt back, and that was a really bad thing for him, right? So this is sort of what's going on here. How is that better than an iPod? You can almost see them saying that. Maybe I should have translated it that way. So that's what we're looking at here. So I'm going to read. Actually, you know what? You should read now that you're back, because you have that amazing voice. EA19. The Amarna letters.
Sorry. The Dickinson is just asking if, the Dickensian is just asking if he gets his own mug, will it be magical like yours, and will he be able to see a Christmas tree through it? I've said I can't make that promise, but
I can.
If you get your own poorly set up green screen, then yes, it can.
Yeah.
So, as Josh said, this is letter EA19. I'm going to read it through in the entire regular English translation, and then Josh is going to read his vernacular English translation, which actually doesn't contain a lot of swearing, which is a good thing because, well, it shows you that he translated it and I didn't. Say to Nimrod, great king, the king of Egypt, my brother, my son-in-law who loves me and whom I love, message of Tushrata, great king, your father-in-law who loves you, the king of Mitanni, your brother. For me, all goes well. For you, may all go well. for your household, for my sister, for the rest of your wives, for your sons, for your chariots, for your horses, for your warriors, for your country, and for whatever else belongs to you, may all go very, very well. This is a pretty standard introduction. They all pretty much start like this. Obviously some variations with names and maybe the list of what is going well for you. But yes, this is normal. As far back as the time of your ancestors, they always showed love to my ancestors. You yourself went even further and showed very great love to my father. Now, in keeping with our constant and mutual love, you have made it 10 times greater than the love shown my father. May the gods grant it, and may Teshup, my lord, and Aman make flourish for evermore, just as it is now with this mutual love of ours. When my brother sent Main, his messenger, saying, "Send your daughter here to be my wife and the mistress of Egypt,"
I said, Ninmorea, I am your father.
That's not included in the original.
Sorry, that was lame. I thought it was cooler in my head. It wasn't.
When my brother sent Main, his messenger, saying, "Send your daughter here to be my wife and the mistress of Egypt," I caused my brother no distress, and immediately I said, "Of course." The one whom my brother requested I showed to Main, and he saw her. When he saw her, he praised her greatly. I said, "I will lead her in safety to my brother's country. May 𝀭and Aman make her image the image of my brother's desire." 𝀭my messenger, brought my brother's words to me, and when I heard them, they were very pleasing, and I rejoiced very, very much, saying, "Certainly, there is between us. We love each other. Now, with such words, let us love each other forevermore." When I wrote to my brother, I said, "Let us love each other very, very much, and between us let there be friendship." I also said to my brother, "May my brother treat me 10 times better than he did my father." Do you notice a theme developing here? I also asked my brother for much gold, saying, "May my brother grant me more than he did to my father and send it to me. You sent my father much gold. You sent him large gold jars and gold jugs. You sent him gold bricks as if they were just the equivalent of copper." When I sent 𝀭to my brother, I asked for much gold, saying, "May my brother treat me 10 times better than he did my father, and may he send me much gold that has not been worked." This again, the sending of unworked gold is something that occurs throughout many of the letters, and we'll see further on what happens when you send someone gold that has been worked. May my brother send me much more gold than he did to my father. Thus did I say to my brother, "I am going to build a mausoleum for my grandfather." I also said, "In accordance with a favourable answer, I am going to make the paraphernalia." And thus did I also say, "The gold that my brother sends me, may he send for the bride price as well." Now my brother has sent the gold. I say, it may be little or not a little but much. Still, it has been worked. But though it has been worked, I rejoiced over it much, and whatever it was my brother sent, I am happy about it. So, what's happened here is the king of Egypt has sent 𝀭gold statuary, gold that has been formed into attractive shapes, and 𝀭is bitching. Can we say bitching? He's complaining quite vigorously because he's been sent gold in statue form rather than just solid gold bars.
Nobody likes that.
No, apparently not. I think it's a bit rude, to be honest.
Pip, pip.
Now my brother has sent the gold. Oh, no, we did that. I now hereby write to my brother, and may my brother show me much more love than he did to my father. I hereby ask for gold from my brother, and the gold that I ask for from my brother is meant for a double purpose, one for the mausoleum, and the other for the bride price. May my brother send me in very great quantities gold that has not been worked, and may my brother send me much more gold than he did to my father. In my brother's country, gold is as plentiful as dirt. May the gods grant that, just as now gold is plentiful in my brother's country, he make it even 10 times more plentiful than now. May the gold that I ask for not become a source of distress to my brother, and may my brother not cause me distress. May my brother send me, in very large quantities, gold that has not been worked. Whatever my brother needs for his house, let him write and take it. I will give 10 times more than what my brother asks for. This country is my brother's country, and this house is my brother's house. I herewith send my messenger, Kalia, to my brother, and may my brother not detain him. May he let him go promptly so that he might be on his way, and I hear my brother's greeting and rejoice exceedingly. So, yes, you want your messenger to come back and bring messages from other people. It's kind of like when the mail is delayed. You don't like that very much. More crucially here, and something that 🀭 has not mentioned, is that if the messenger is delayed, then the gifts he is being sent with are also delayed. So this very much gold that we've heard talked about ad nauseum will come with the messenger. So if the messenger doesn't arrive, the gold won't arrive. Forevermore may I constantly hear the greeting of my brother. May 𝀭, my lord, and Aman grant that these words that we shall be constantly writing achieve their purpose, and may they be, as long as they exist, just as they are now. Just as we love each other now, exactly as now, so may we love each other forevermore. I herewith send my brother's greeting gift, 1 gold goblet with inlays of genuine lapis lazuli in its handle, 1 manenu necklace with a counterweight, 20 pieces of genuine lapis lazuli, 19 pieces of gold, its centerpiece being of genuine lapis lazuli set in gold, 1 manenu necklace with a counterweight, 42 genuine hulula stones, and 40 pieces of gold shaped like arzalu stones, its centerpiece being of genuine hulalu stones set in gold. So even though he's asking for unworked gold, he's sending back an awful lot of worked gold, which is a little bit iffy. And 10 teams of horses, 10 wooden chariots, along with everything belonging to them, and 30 women and men. So that is the entirety of one of these letters. Josh, as I've said, has translated... I'm using the term translated in its loosest sense. He's taken
very loose.
The original English translation and reworked it into vernacular English. And shortened it substantially because I don't think we need to hear, please send me all of your gold 12 times in one letter to really get the point hammered home.
This is how I read it. Dear 𝀭, how have you been? We've been doing well here. I've been thinking about how things have been in the past between our two countries, and we have always had great relations. In fact, you went above and beyond with how you treated my father, and I hope that continues with us. Remember when you asked to marry my daughter? Without hesitation, I said, of course. I know that I have a lot of daughters, but the one that you wanted was the most beautiful of them all. And when she came out to go to Egypt with your messenger saw her and said, damn! Don't worry, I'll take good care of her on the trip. When my messenger told me what you said when he was in Egypt, I was really excited. He likes me. He really likes me. So when I wrote to you before, I said, let's keep this good relationship going. Then I wrote, I hope that you treat me 10 times better than you treated my father. I also asked you to send me even more stuff than you sent to my father. You sent him gold jars, jugs, and solid gold bricks. Specifically, I needed unworked gold because I'm trying to build a mausoleum for my grandfather. So please, send me much more gold than you sent to my father. Really need it. I mean, gold in your country is like dirt. There's so much of it. I'll bet that if you send me a bunch of gold, the gods will give you even more than you have now. Did I mention that I need gold? Lots of gold? Unworked gold? Yeah, I need gold. Can you send me a lot of gold? Look, I'm sending you my messenger, and he's bringing a bunch of presents for you from me. It's all genuine. I swear. Sincerely, 𝀭, King of Mitanni.
I enjoyed that. It really gives you the essence of what's going on. And we actually had a question from 𝀭₀. Was payment in the form of art considered a purposeful insult, or are there other complications like it being taboo to melt down statues or something? So it doesn't appear to have been taboo, because it happens a lot.
As you will see.
And they report it. Like the kings who are sent gold from the pharaoh will write to him and say, when I melted down the statue that you sent me, it was mainly made of wood. So clearly your overseers must have been cheating me.
Did somebody say? What? Anybody?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh man, a Full House reference.
I've never seen Full House. I think I'm gonna be divorced. I'm sorry. So it doesn't appear to have been taboo.
If we could, can somebody enter 1 in the chat if you got that reference because you were a big Full House fan?
There we go.
That'd be great. It made me feel better.
It made Josh feel better. So no, it doesn't appear to have been taboo. I strongly suspect that it was a way of sending. Well, no, I don't even suspect. It was a way of sending less gold. Because if you sent a statue, you could send a statue that was a wooden core with gold foil around it, and it would look like a gold statue until the recipient melted it down and found out that it was mainly wood. So it's just a way to send a beautiful gift without spending too much money. It's like sending someone a cashmere sweater with a red dot on it.
What's that red dot on your sweater? I was seeing red dots everywhere.
Sorry, I'm looking to see if there are more questions. If you have questions, put them in the chat. I will try and get to them. Tag me at Digital Hammurabi in there so I see it. Thank you very much. Math Magic Pagan says there should be an app. Normal chat to Josh Talk. Just type it in. Oh, only 2 people saying that they did see Full House.
Oh,
and 1 person says it was the worst show ever. I'm sorry.
I guess that's fair. It wasn't all that good, but I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons, so what else you got? So let me ask you guys, or you, is obviously you as well, but should we read the original letter first and then read my...
The reworked one, or just read the reworked ones?
Yeah, or just read the reworked one. I guess...
Sorry. I have problems.
Yeah, why don't we... Let's do another one. Because
Okay.
the second one's not terribly long. EA5.
Yep.
I think it might be good, just because they can hear then the...
What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong PDF.
Whatever happened to predictability?
I don't know.
That was just the intro to the song. I mean, to the... That was
Okay.
the
The show that I never watched.
yes.
It is apparently awful. EA5. Do you want to read this one or shall I?
Oh, you should read it.
Okay. Gifts of Egyptian furniture for the Babylonian palace. Thus Nimurea, great king, the king of Egypt, say to Kadashman Enlil, the king of Karaduniash, my brother, for me all goes well, for you may all go well, for your household, your wives, your sons, your magnates, your troops, your horses, your chariots, and in your countries may all go well. For me, all goes well.
You can hear how it's exactly the same.
Yeah. For my household, my wives, my sons, my magnates, my many troops. Oh, he has many troops, though. He thinks his army's better than Babylon's.
Come on, somebody.
My horses, my chariots, and in my countries, all goes very, very well. I have just heard that you have built some new quarters. I am sending herewith some furnishings for your house. Indeed, I shall be preparing everything possible before the arrival of your messenger, who is bringing your daughter. Guess why he's bringing your daughter?
Bow, bow, bow. Sorry.
And this is something that we see a lot in these letters. The king of Egypt kind of collects foreign princesses as his wives, but flatly refuses to send any of his daughters out to marry other people. And the theory is that it's because if he married all of these foreign princesses, he felt like he might kind of have a claim to the thrones of their fathers. But if he sent his daughters out, then they may also have some kind of claim to the throne of Egypt, which he was not interested in at all. When your messenger returns, I will send them to you. I herewith send you, in the charge of Shuti, a greeting gift of things for the new house. 1 bed of ebony, overlaid with ivory and gold. 3 beds of ebony, overlaid with gold. 1 arushu of ebony, overlaid with gold. 1 large chair of ebony, overlaid with gold. 5 chairs of ebony, overlaid with gold. 4 chairs of ebony, overlaid with gold, somehow different from the other 2 sets of chairs we've had. These things, the weight of all the gold, 7 minas, 6 shekels of gold. The weight of the silver, 1 mina, 8.5 shekels of gold. In addition, 10 footrests of ebony, something else of ebony, overlaid with gold. some footrests of ebony, also overlaid with gold, some more gold, and in total, we don't have the complete calculation here, but so many minas, 10 and 7 shekels of gold.
You're like crazy attractive. Do you know that?
Thank you.
If you haven't hit that like button,
Yeah, you should do
that would really help us out. And if you Twittering it, I'm never going to get that right. Tweeting it, that'd be awesome.
Yep, tweeting it is good.
All right. So here is my take on that. Dear Kadashman Enlil, how are you? Doing well here. I just heard that you did some renovations in your palace, so I decided to send you some furniture as a gift. I'm sending several ebony beds and chairs that are overlaid with gold, silver, and ivory. The specific weights of the gold, silver, and ivory are blah, blah, blah. Love you. Mean it. Nimmorea, King of Egypt. That one wasn't as cool, but I like the love you, mean it part.
The ending, though. That was good.
Because I really feel like that's what he's saying.
That was
love
good.
you, mean it.
Yeah.
I
can see the pharaoh saying that.
I hear Kyle's voice.
Kyle is the king of Egypt.
No,
you should tell him.
Yeah, Kyle's the king of Egypt. But love you, mean it.
Yep.
That's what I hear.
So we've had someone ask, people are talking about Discord, someone's asking if there is a secret Digital Hammurabi Discord they don't know about. We
SDHD.
Yes. There is not an SDHD.
I don't know how to make a Discord.
I mean, if people are interested in a Discord, I can make one. I haven't up till now because I don't really understand how it works.
Also,
but we can do it if people would like it.
We are on the Non Sequiturs, right? The Non Sequiturs Discord?
I mean, yes, but I don't know
and
how
I
it works.
have
So
no
I
idea how to navigate it. So, like, people will say, oh, there's this Discord thing going on, and I try to find it. It's like finding something on Twitter for me. It's very, very difficult. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. And Biblical History Skeptics is saying the Egyptian motto, your daughters are my daughters, and my daughters are my daughters. That's pretty much how it goes. Okay, so yes, people are saying Discord would be a good idea. I will work out what that is, how it works. I do use Discord. I use it for a Dungeons and Dragons group I'm in with some archaeologists. But I use it poorly. And I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing with it. So
also,
I will learn.
Sorry. You probably knew how to play before, but you're just hiding it to make me feel better. But I just learned how to play Magic the Gathering. Now, I'm not good, you see. And actually...
Okay, so neither of us are good. We were with our friends, Dr. William Reed.
Who is amazing.
Who very kindly put together some starter decks for us. So it was basically him playing against himself, just using us as...
We should clarify. I had my cards in front of me, and I would pull the next one from the deck. He would tell me when it was my turn to do that. There were only two of us playing. Nonetheless, I would look at the card, and then he would look at it and tell me what to do with it.
Yep.
And then I'd usually do it wrong, and then he'd say, not like that.
You did it right. Surprisingly, William won.
Yeah. Which was tough, because he had a tough, some stiff competition.
Because it was himself.
But it was fun. So Magic the Gathering. Highly recommend it. It's pretty boss. Still don't understand it, but...
It's enjoyable. Okay, so we need the next letter.
Okay.
Letter
EA7.
7.
And this is the last one that I reworked, and then we have a couple more...
other texts.
Couple other texts that deal with giving gifts. That was the theme. I don't know if it's lame.
Oh, so Biblical History Skeptics is saying that you have to play Magic with him now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Maybe we'll do that for our Patreons.
Yeah, that's what we should do. When we had 5,000 subscribers, I would play Magic the Gathering. Oh, no. But that came out like really fast. Like the toothpaste thing. You can't get the toothpaste back in.
We're not at 4,000 yet, so you've got some time.
I said 50,000. Is that what I said? I thought it was 50,000.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
No, it's fine. I'll just get William to sit right here. And Dr. Reed will sit there and be like, play the one on the left. And I'll play the one on the right. Because I will forget.
You're amazing. Nope, you're amazing. Okay, so lesson 7. EA7, a lesson in geography. This is one of my personal favorites.
That's why I picked it.
Because you're amazing. Say to Nimrod, great king, king of Egypt, my brother. Thus, Boroboreash, great king, king of Caradoniash, your brother.
We almost named Oliver that.
Nearly.
Boroboreash.
Nearly.
It's like,
Yep. Actually, there's a great Oliver naming story that we'll tell later because it's amazing. For me and my household, for my horses and my chariots, for my magnates and my country, all goes very well. For my brother and his household, for his horses and his chariots, for his magnates and his country, may all go very well. From the time the messenger of my brother arrived here, I have not been well.
So I just want to point out how standardized these intros are. And I'm not an Amarna letters expert. This book is published by William Moran, or written by William Moran.
Sorry, everyone in the chat is saying, you said 5,000.
What?
For the magic stream.
Oh, God.
I'll play with
you. You know what it's like? It's like when I said, oh, yeah, I guess I could debate Jesus is Lord. That would be okay. It's like immediately, you know, if anybody I just want to digress for a second. If anybody hasn't seen the stream, Chris, you were on this, obviously. You were on the stream with me, so you feel my pain. I encountered G-Man for the first time on Thursday night, which I'm sure that in the right setting, like probably when nobody else is around, I could have like a really cool conversation with them. I'm sure that I think that's probably true. But good grief. I mean, I remember sitting there and there were like 18 people in the room. So, I mean, it's tough to talk anyway. And I wasn't really excited about talking, frankly, because I don't like making arguments when I know that the person's not going to be listening to them at all. It's sort of counterintuitive and counterproductive. But nonetheless, that was a crazy stream. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend that you watch it because you'll be entertained. And then there were like streams that were responses to that. And it was something else that was funny was that, and I feel like I would like RC Apologist if I had a conversation with him. He seems like a decent guy. But he made this video where he said that Aaron and I were against, it was Joshua Bowen versus Aaron Ra. It was just such a weird thing to see because I don't remember ever saying anything in that stream that would have been at odds with what I think Aaron was saying. I could obviously be wrong, but anyway.
I'm going to interrupt you because we have the greatest compliment I think we've ever received.
Oh.
And this is to both of us.
Oh.
So, Vegisaurus Fandom Trash, great name, by the way. Okay, so as a hairstylist, I keep eyeing your fade and I'd love to shake your stylist's hand.
Aww.
Actually, we cut his hair. It's a group effort. Thank you very much.
So,
good job.
I was in the military for 10 years, and so I got used to, anyway. But she's the magic.
He does the sides, and then I do the back and tidy up around the long bits.
The long bits?
The long bits.
You're the cutest thing.
𝀭Eris has given us another super chat.
Hey!
Digital Hammurabi is the best anime of 2018. We try. I think we need some kind of magical powers for us to be anime.
Oh, you can.
Sure.
One, if you... No, okay. I'll stop doing it. Anyway. Sorry. That was... Things really do sound good in my head. And then I say them.
And then you say them and people find them very amusing.
Yeah.
I find them very amusing.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry. We've kind of got away from this. Also, your sister's in the live stream as well. Hi, Nikki.
Hey. And she got...
She got
some Chandice. It's going to catch on. If I say Chandice enough, people are going to start using it. Merch is going to go by the wayside.
Okay, so we got through the greeting. Yeah. From the time the messenger of my brother arrived here, I have not been well. And so on no occasion has his messenger eaten food and drunk spirits in my company. If you ask, there's a break, your messenger, he will tell you that I have not been well, and that, as far as my recovery is concerned, I am still by no means restored to health. Furthermore, since I was not well and my brother showed me no concern, for my part I became angry with my brother, saying, "Has my brother not heard that I am ill? Why has he shown me no concern?"
You're becoming more Kramer-like. It's great. Yep.
Why has he shown me no concern? Why has he sent no messenger here and visited me? My brother's messenger addressed me, saying, "It is not a place close by, so your brother can hear about you and send you greetings. The country is far away. Who is going to tell your brother so he can immediately send you greetings? Would your brother hear that you are ill and still not send you his messenger?" I, for my part, addressed him as follows, saying, "For my brother, a great king, is there really a faraway country and a close-by one?" He, for his part, addressed me as follows, saying, "Ask your own messenger whether the country is far away, and as a result your brother did not hear about you and did not send anyone to greet you." Now, since I asked my own messenger, and he said to me that the journey is far, I was not angry any longer. I said no more. Furthermore, as I am told, in my brother's country everything is available, and my brother needs absolutely nothing. Furthermore, in my country, everything too is available, and I, for my part, need absolutely nothing. We have, however, inherited good relations of long standing from earlier kings, and so we should send greetings to one another. It is these same relations that shall be lasting between us. My greetings I will send to you, and your greetings you shall send to me. My greetings, there's a break, and your greetings, break, break, break.
I own a Jeddah, you own a Jeddah. Everything ought to be okay.
You now, before escorting him on his way, have detained my messenger for 2 years. I informed your messenger and sent him on his way. Inform my messenger immediately so that he can come to me. You remember, if you detain someone's messenger as me, it means that that person doesn't get any gold or greeting gifts that they totally don't need because they're very wealthy in their own rights, but it's rude. It's very rude. Furthermore, as I am also told, the journey is difficult, water cut off, and the weather hot. I am not sending many beautiful greeting gifts. I send to my brother 4 minas of beautiful lapis lazuli as a routine greeting gift. In addition, I send my brother 5 teams of horses. Now, you can see, in contrast to the other 2 letters we've read, this is not terribly impressive. This is like sending a gift card for $10 to Walmart. Which is very much appreciated, but maybe not what you would expect if you're normally accustomed to receiving like 200 horses.
Or a $20 gift card.
Or indeed a $20 gift card to Walmart. As soon as the weather improves, my next messenger will come. My next messenger to come, I will have bring many beautiful greeting gifts to my brother. Furthermore, whatever my brother wants, let my brother just write me so that it can be taken from the house. Being engaged on a work, I write to my brother. May my brother send me much fine gold so that I can use it in my work. But the gold that my brother sends me, my brother should not turn over to the charge of any deputy. My brother should make a personal check. Then my brother should seal and send it to me.
It's funny, when I saw that the first time, I thought like a check. Which I was like, why
check.
would he translate it that way? It's inspection. Makes more sense.
Certainly my brother did not check the earlier shipment of gold that my brother sent to me. It was only a deputy of my brother who sealed and sent it to me. When I put the 40 minas of gold that were brought to me into a kiln, not even 10, I swear, appeared. Furthermore, twice has the caravan of Tsalmu, my messenger whom I sent to you, been robbed. The first one, Biriyawaza, robbed, and his second caravan, Pamahu, the governor of yours in a vassalage, robbed. When is my brother going to adjudicate this case? As my messenger spoke before my brother, so now my maid Salmu speak before my brother. His things should be restored to him, and he should be compensated for his losses.
Dear Nakorea, how have you been? Things aren't going all that well here. I've been sick recently, and I'm still not fully recovered. You can ask your messenger, he'll tell you. I'm a little miffed, to tell you the truth. I mean, I've been sick this whole time, and not once have you sent someone to visit me. Of course, your messenger tells me that you aren't really that close to me, so it's unreasonable for me to be pissed off. Oh, Mr. Big Shot King, aren't you powerful? Can't you do it all? Is there really a close by country and a far away country for you? Sheesh. Oh, wait. My messenger just told me that it is a far away country. Oops. My bad. Moving on. I know that we are both crazy rich, so we don't need anything from each other, obviously. But we really should send these greeting gifts just to keep up relations, just like our ancestors did. So I'm sending you some stuff. It's not a lot, since the weather's bad. I'll have to send the rest later, but don't worry, I totally will send more. When you send back your gifts, nudge,
with
nudge.
my messenger. Sorry.
No, you're good. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You probably should check it over yourself before it goes. I mean, the last time you sent me stuff, I put it into the fire, and I found out that there was really very little gold. WTF. Also, you need to tighten up security on your end. My messenger was robbed twice on his way to bring you things, so you should make sure that gets taken care of. Sincerely, Bora Boreash. I always think there when I read the end of that tablet that there's... I'll have to check. But I want to believe that it's like, oh yeah, my messengers are getting robbed on the way.
It's not that I'm not sending you enough stuff.
I totally sent a lot more.
I did, but it got stolen.
It got stolen.
And it's your fault it got stolen because they got robbed in your territory.
Yeah, you can't hold that against me.
Come on, people.
So, that's my...
Josh's reworking of the Amana tablets. If you have questions about those, please put them in the chat and we will do our best to answer them. I absolutely love the Amana tablets. We'll probably come back to them many, many times. And Michael Apple is saying, just in case you were wondering, Sitchin is as bad in biology and astronomy as he appears to be in archaeology. You're right, very surprising. And thank you. I kind of assumed he was, but I don't know anything about biology or astrology. So that's reassuring.
Yeah, we're this coming year, one of the things that we're trying to do, and it's just tough to do, is find somebody that works in ancient astronomy that isn't a Assyriologist. Mm-hmm. Those two things are tough. There aren't a lot of them. But it would make
many people happy. It would make me very happy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, in keeping with... Hello, Thomas.
We have a cat right here. He keeps popping his head up. He thinks it's dinner time. It's not. He's half an hour early.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. In keeping with the idea of gift giving, since it's Christmas, and I started thinking about... I don't know. I didn't know how many Amarna letters we wanted to rework. So I thought maybe what we do is look at other gift giving passages in Sumerian, and I'll bet if we really try, we can think of some in Akkadian on the cuff.
So we have a question.
Oh.
Theomaki, how many cuneiform tablets have we discovered, and how many are translated?
Several hundred thousand
we have discovered. We have not translated that many.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think
we've translated a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. So it's tough. There are a lot of like or3 administrative texts,
which are like 2 sheep, 1 goat, received by insert name here.
So,
which are useful.
Yes, absolutely.
For the study of economics and sheep.
Those types of tablets are, I mean, all over the place. When I was at Hopkins, my friend, Dr. Howard, Caleb Howard, got an email from a museum curator saying, out maybe in Ohio somewhere, saying, hey, as a little, sort of a little museum, mm-hmm. Hey, we have some cuneiform tablets. Nobody out here has any, idea how to read them. You think you might want to come out here and try to read them and then publish them? So there are lots of, little collections like that have cuneiform tablets. I think, and I haven't researched this at all, but when you look into some of the tablets, I think that the Mormon Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, argues I've lost how to formulate that sentence. The tablets that they use, the tablets that they argue are tablets original. Oh, God.
They're original to the Americas.
I need to take my medicine. Yes, original to the Americas are or 3 economic texts, I think. I'll have to look. I'm not.
I don't think we're allowed to look at them.
Oh.
I don't know that.
Nobody hold me to that. I feel like I should wait. Dr. Ronan Head, actually, I think is part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm trying to be diplomatic here. And he got a PhD in Assyriology from Johns Hopkins. So actually, he'd be an interesting person to get on.
Sure.
Right. I remember what else I was saying.
How many tablets are there? How many are translated?
So when you think about those types of tablets, there are a lot of those, right? So there isn't a huge rush to translate 2 sheep, 1 goats, or 2 sheep, 1 goat, that sort of thing. Economic texts in general, that sort of thing. However, literary texts, the ones that we've found, we've combed through them pretty well. So I wrote my dissertation on this group of tablets found in the early 20th century by a French excavation team at the city of Kish, which is sort of near Babylon. And, it's from the 18th century. Most of the tablets probably date to the 18th century. And there's like 1,400 of them, right? And if you go through the hand copies, the drawings that the excavator made, they don't represent anywhere near the total amount of tablets that were found there, right? He's not drawing all of them, all the little fragments and everything. And even those that he drew, we haven't, necessarily worked through and published them systematically. So there are a lot of them that I was, doing an initial publication attempt at myself in my dissertation. So, yes, in that sense, there are a lot that haven't been published, right? What I don't want people to think is that, oh my gosh, there's all this information out there that will drastically change our understanding of, I'm using that word drastically, we're going to somehow find that the aliens actually are out there, right, in these tablets because we just haven't translated enough. We don't know enough about Sumerian linguistics
when new literary texts are found, they tend to be duplicates of what we already have. They can be duplicates that fill in gaps because we do have fragmentary literary texts and ritual texts, but they're more likely to be another fragment of Gilgamesh than something completely new and unheard of. Mm-hmm. We have another couple of questions actually. Theomaki again, does it ever get annoying how fragmentary some of these tablets are? And do you know any examples where the fragment raises interesting questions as to what it means?
Yes, it gets really annoying. Yeah. I have a funny story. I won't name the scholar. But there was a scholar, as I understand the story, in the British Museum, and he called another older scholar that had worked in the British Museum 30 years prior, I think, and he said, I'm having trouble identifying this top corner. It was like a top left corner or something. No, is that... Yes, is that... No, other way around, sorry. He had a tablet and he couldn't figure out what the lines were at the top. Anyway, and this other scholar said, "Are you in the museum right now in the tablet room?" And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "Go to drawer 764973 or something, right?" He said, "Okay." So he went over and he pulled it out and he said, "Pull out tablet number BM69487." So he pulled it out and he said, "Does it match the top right corner of that?" He said, "Oh my God, it does. How did you do that?" And he said, "Yeah, in 1974, I was looking at that tablet, and the lines that you read to me, I thought, yeah, that's probably where that goes." There are some people in our field that are playing with a different deck of cards.
Yes. I couldn't do that.
No.
But they're fantastic.
No. So, yes, it gets very frustrating. What tends to happen there are lots of reasons why tablets could become broken or fragmentary. They get broken when excavation takes place. They get broken in antiquity. And one of the cool things that we do is make joins, just like what I was describing there. And sometimes those joins go, the different pieces are in different countries. In my dissertation, I think I made 4 or 5 new joins, just because I was working with the hand copies. And I discovered, this tablet fragment that's in Istanbul matches this other tablet fragment that's in the Louvre in Paris. So, right. Anyway.
Sorry, do you remember what the name of the volume Chris Woods did on writing was called?
Oh, the one that he did in 2012?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I know that it was an exhibit that was in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't remember what it's called. Sorry.
That's all good. No, I'm looking for it because I think it's a free download. We also have another question.
Sorry, it was kind of long-winded.
Theo Meki, sorry. Also, there. I know that I've translated through some texts that have breaks in really annoying places, and you lose a good chunk of dialogue or narrative, and you're like, this is crucial to understanding the entire text. I can't give you a concrete example because it's been a long time since I did that kind of translation work, but yes, they exist and they're very frustrating.
And the reason that so tablets, I mean, if you think about a tablet, the beginning is at the top and the end, is at the bottom on the other side. Well, oftentimes on the side. But anyway, so the beginning and the end of a tablet is often what breaks off, right? Because it's clay. And so if the beginning or the end of a story breaks off, it's really annoying. Like the 3 ox drivers of Adab is one where it breaks off. You're like, what happens?
Sorry, briefly. So there's a couple of comments in the chat about the invention of writing. If you are interested in the invention of writing, there's a great book, relatively recent, called Visible Language, Inventions of Writing, and it covers various different civilizations. I'm putting a link in the chat. I'll put the link in the description. It's a free download available from the Oriental Institute Publications. Highly recommended. Great book. Go and read it.
Or you can, if you don't feel like doing that, you can watch our videos on it.
Also that.
I don't remember what the video is called.
Interrupted you.
It's called Awesome Sauce.
Awesome Sauce. Akos Eris wants to know how expensive the process is to translate tablets.
How expensive?
He's talking about fundraising to get some tablets translated, which is an awesome idea.
Oh.
It varies. Depends on where the tablets are, where the scholar is who wants to translate them, how accessible those tablets are. Some of them, Assyriologists can get quite territorial about their tablets. If they decide that they are going to translate through a particular collection and they happen to work with it, they can restrict who gets access to it until it's been published. So that can be quite tricky. But generally how expensive it is, I don't really know. So you need to be able to live, pay your rent, buy food. While you're doing that work, you also need to be able to travel to wherever the tablets are, get access to them, or at least take good photographs, stay near the collection while you are either translating or photographing the tablets, and then the time it takes to just do the translation work, which can take a couple of days, can take a whole semester.
But this is why this is specifically what we're raising. Not specifically, but one of the big things that we're hoping people will do, PhD students will do, with the Digital Hammurabi Scholarship, right? Mm-hmm. This is one of the things.
This is what we're trying to do.
So, for example, if there's a tablet in the Louvre that you need to look at and collate, look at the actual tablet and make sure the signs are right and everything. We need to play. You need to pay for your airfare. You need to pay for the hotel you're going to stay in, or whatever, the hostel, wherever you're going to stay, and then your food while you're there. This is the travel expenses. I mean, this is the sort of thing that we're raising the money for, so that we can send a PhD student out to go for 2 or 3 weeks, go to the library. Go to the museum, look at these tablets, take good pictures. Do the research, and talk to the scholars maybe that are there in country, and then come back and. And write up their paper and then present it to us.
Tim Smith is saying, what percentage of people at this time were scribes?
7.4.
It's quite difficult.
Yeah, it depends on the period. So if you're talking about the 𝀭period, so the end of the third millennium, 2100 to 2000, somewhere around there, we have a pretty good idea that scribes are part of the bureaucracy. So a mid-level bureaucrat is going to be a scribe. And so, you know, when they talk about in the literary texts, the schools that the kids go to, or the students go to, that's like a state-sponsored or state-run school. This is probably the 𝀭period, because there's a big governmental
push.
Right, and so they're probably a lot. When you get into the old Babylonian period, where I worked, the scribal schools are run in homes, and so there probably still are a lot of them, but not in the same state-run way that they were in the 𝀭period. So it's just going to vary.
And I say this pretty much every time we talk about scribes and literacy. There's evidence for pretty good functional literacy during various periods. The old Assyrian period has a lot of merchants who
Chandice, please.
No.
Fine.
A lot of merchants who used a consolidated cuneiform script and wrote letters themselves to their wives, to their business partners, who then wrote back to them. So not only do you have functional literacy, you also have functional literacy in women, which is pretty cool. You don't see these people talking about dictating to scribes. They write the letters themselves and just send them off. This is for one time period, but it's at least theoretically possible that happened in other time periods as well. Someone said, I can't find the comment now, that it's a shame that more tablets weren't inscribed on gold, like the Mormon tablets. The thing is, there probably were at least some on gold, but they wouldn't have survived because gold gets remelted, as we've seen in these letters, gets melted down again. And then reused. But we see cuneiform being inscribed on all kinds of stuff. You get it on stones, like precious stones are inscribed with foundation inscriptions and then buried under temple foundations. You see similar things with bronze statuettes, figurines that are buried under foundations. And obviously you get a lot of cuneiform written on statues.
Sometimes we find it on trees, like Anaku, Heart, Jane.
Jane.
Or
I like it. No, Jane works.
Okay, good.
I like it. It's good. Has anyone ever found a tablet that was actually gingerbread? I did last week, and then I fed it to my son, who enjoyed it very much. So Tim Smith is saying only 52 watching and only 24 likes. Yes, please hit the like button. And if you're new here and you're enjoying what you see, stick around. Click the subscribe button. I promise I can talk. I get very overexcited and then I trip over myself when I speak. But yes, please hit subscribe.
But you're so easy on the eyes.
You're very nice. And I love you.
I love you. You're not terribly hard on the heart.
Aww. You're the nicest man ever. Isn't he nice?
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, we're upstairs.
We were having a moment.
We were sharing it with the whole of the internet. So that's us caught up with questions. Do you want to read one of these texts?
Yeah. Which one would you like?
Got another half hour.
We can do. Do you want to start with the funny ones?
Sure.
Like, don't try to be stingy when you're drunk.
I don't think I know what that is. Oh yes, I do. Yeah. So this is less about gifts and more about outright theft. No, because no, you're right.
It depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
If you ask Enki, he's gonna say.
The question here really is: if you get someone drunk, and then they give you a gift, is that stealing? Or coercion in some respects?
Okay.
Especially if you know they didn't really want to give you the gift.
When you say it like that,
yeah.
I tell you what. Why don't we read the story?
And then you can decide. You can tell us if it's theft or not.
In that case, what you just said, yes, that is theft.
You can see where I'm going with this.
Okay. Where should we start?
We are going to ETCSL for those who wish to follow along. I will find a link.
Brill. Is that good?
Yes.
Chim chimney, chim chimney.
I'm not sure why we're singing Mary Poppins songs.
I'm trying to say something British.
Oh, because of the Brill thing? You're amazing.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't be knowing. All right. Okay, so here we go. I'll just start reading. This is Inanna and Enki. Let me see how far down it. I'm trying to think if I should start. Ugh, it's so fragmented.
We can probably skip
Yeah.
through to like segment C maybe.
Yeah, you probably.
So Inanna, the segment A is a like a praise to Inanna, how beautiful she is, and her getting ready to go and visit the god Enki, who is her uncle. It contains the delightful line, "She praised herself, full of delight at her genitals." Highly recommended, just for amusement value, because that is not something that one generally praises oneself for. So she's speaking about how amazing she is, how beautiful she is, and then she starts to tell you what her plan is. She's going to go to Eridu and persuade him to give her something. It doesn't say what it is until further down, but we'll find out later. She's trying to get the divine maze from him, which are like the divine audiences, divine audiences, the like signs of civilization. So yes, she goes out on her boat to Eridu, where Enki lives, and we are opening in segment C with Enki speaking.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think it's pretty clear that she's gonna be a trickster. Okay. Which is funny to trick the trickster, which Enki is the trickster.
Agreed.
You want to start?
Sure. She will drink, she will eat, and this is quite fragmentary, so there are going to be places where we don't actually.
It
have
is
words.
QF.
It is. Come here. I will something. The maiden, the Abzu and Eridu, Inanna. The Abzu and Eridu. When the maiden Inanna has entered the Abzu and Eridu, when Inanna has entered the Abzu and Eridu, offer her buttercake to eat. Let her be served cool, refreshing water. Pour beer for her in front of the lion's gate. Make her feel as if she is in her girlfriend's house. Make her something as a colleague. You are to welcome holy Inanna at the holy table, the table of Arn. After Enki had spoken thus to him, Isamud the minister followed his master's instructions closely. He let the maiden into the Abzu and Eridu. He let Inanna into the Abzu and Eridu. When the maiden had entered the Abzu and Eridu, when Inanna had entered the Abzu and Eridu, she got buttercake to eat. They poured cool, refreshing water for her, and they gave her beer to drink in front of the lion's gate. He made her feel as if she were in her girlfriend's house, and made her something as a colleague. He welcomed holy Inanna at the holy table, at the table of Arn. So it came about that Enki and Inanna were drinking beer together in the Abzu, and enjoying the taste of sweet wine. The bronze agar vessels were filled to the brim, and the two of them started a competition, drinking from the bronze vessels of Aurak.
And they sang, Gaston is the best.
No one drinks like Gaston. Sorry. And there's about, the translation here tells us there's about 35 lines missing. And then we open to Enki speaking again.
I will give them to holy Inanna, my daughter. May not. Holy Inanna received heroism, power, wickedness, righteousness, the plundering of cities, making lamentations, rejoicing. In the name of my power, in the name of my Abzu, I will give them to holy Inanna, my daughter. Holy Inanna received deceit, the rebel lands, kindness, being on the move, being sedentary. In the name of my power, in the name of my Abzu, I will give them to holy Inanna, my daughter. Holy Inanna received the craft of the carpenter, the craft of the coppersmith, the craft of the scribe, the craft of the smith, the craft of the leather worker, the craft of the fuller, the craft of the builder, the craft of the reed worker. In the name of my power, in the name of my Abzu, I will give them to holy Inanna, my daughter. I'm okay reading all this just because it's good to hear time to time what the maze are, because it comes up so often. Right. Okay. Holy Inanna received wisdom, attentiveness, holy purification rites, the shepherd's hut, piling up glowing charcoals, the sheepfold, respect, awe, reverent silence. In the name of my power, in the name of my Abzu, I will give them to Holy Inanna, my daughter. Holy Inanna received the bitter-toothed, the kindling of fire, the extinguishing of fire, hard work, the assembled family, descendants. In the name of my power, in the name of my Abzu, I will give them to Holy Inanna, my daughter. Holy Inanna received strife, triumph, counseling, comforting, judging, decision-making. In the name of my power, in the name of my Abzu, I will give them to Holy Inanna, my daughter. You want to read it?
Yes.
That's right. You're typing.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay.
So this is Inanna reading now. And again, the translation we're using says there's about 78 lines missing between what Josh has said and what I'm going to say. So this is, to answer the earlier question, this is where it gets frustrating because we know there are massive chunks of text missing here. So we can really only guess at what's happening in between the sections we have.
And if you think about it, 78 lines here in the middle of this description of the maze.
It's pretty crucial.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Oh, I'm going to read, but we have a question for you to think on while I read. Tim Smith is asking, did the daughter of Sargon write this tale? If not, who do you think maybe wrote it? Have a think. He has given me righteousness. He has given me the plundering of cities. He has given me making lamentations. He has given me rejoicing. He has given me deceit. He has given me the rebel lands. He has given me kindness. He has given me being on the move. He has given me being sedentary. He has given me the craft of the carpenter. He has given me the craft of the coppersmith. He has given me the craft of the scribe. He has given me the craft of the smith. He has given me the craft of the leather worker. He has given me the craft of the fuller. He has given me the craft of the builder. He has given me the craft of the reed worker. He has given me wisdom. He has given me attentiveness. He has given me holy purification rites. He has given me the shepherd's hut. He has given me piling up glowing charcoals. He has given me the sheepfold. He has given me respect. He has given me awe. He has given me reverent silence. He has given me the bitter-toothed. He has given me the kindling of fire. He has given me the extinguishing of fire. He has given me hard work. He has given me the assembled family. He has given me descendants. He has given me strife. He has given me triumph. He has given me counselling. And again, we have another 35 lines missing, roughly. So, did the daughter of Sargon write this? Daughter of Sargon is Enheduanna, who famously is attributed with the composition of many Sumerian texts. Whether she actually wrote them, we don't really know, because what we have that's attributed to her comes from a much, much later time period.
What we can say is that from a linguistic standpoint, when you look at the Sumerian, there do seem to be some commonalities between the texts that she's purported to have written. Does that mean that she wrote them? Not necessarily. I want to say yes, but that's because it's cooler to say yes, and I like to be cool.
That is pretty cool.
But yeah, it's tough. That's
it is. And there's nothing to say that this particular text was written by her or even attributed to her. I don't know about the provenances of these tablets versus the provenances of the other Enheduanna compositions. Nothing that I know of that links them. And as to who wrote it, I can't tell you.
I just want to look at the tablet numbers.
Sure. Josh is going to look at the tablet numbers because that can actually tell you something about where particular tablets were found, what kind of context.
Yeah, these are mostly from Nippur.
Okay. So these are from Nippur. So what, school tablets?
Yeah.
So probably school tablets. So who composed it? Can't tell you, but these copies were most likely made by students, scribal students.
Sorry, just looking at the tablet numbers.
Okay. Would you like to take up to segment F?
Yes.
Because Enki comes back. So what's happened is Inanna has gone to visit her uncle Enki. She's got him blinding drunk, as one does, and he has given her, in his drunken state, the maze, which are very precious, very powerful. You see them in all kinds of Sumerian literature. The Anzu bird steals them, which causes all kinds of problems. They turn up in Enuma Elish. So Inanna here has been given by her very drunk uncle, the Maze, and she's sailed off back home to Uruk with them.
Also, it's so warm in here. I mean, that fire, it's just roaring.
Oh, you're amazing.
It's like when I don't say anything for a little while, I think I have to add something to this conversation.
Well, Theomaki says, doesn't Josh know he's cool all on his own? So they think you're cool.
You guys
I think you're cool.
Thank you. It's really, I don't know how you see that, but I appreciate that. That's really cool. I mean, cool. Yes, I'm just going to be quiet.
So
Thank
this
you.
is Enki complaining to his minister that he gave all this stuff to Inanna and he really, really didn't mean to.
Enki spoke to the minister Isimud. Isimud, my minister, my sweet name of heaven. Enki, my master, I am at your service. What is your wish? Since she said that she would not yet depart from here for Uruk Kulaba, that she would not yet depart from here to the place where Utu, can I still reach her? But holy Inanna had gathered up the divine powers and embarked onto the boat of heaven. By the way, the boat of heaven is clearly a rocket ship that allows, it's the Mu. It's not the Mu. Oh my God, that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
I wasn't expecting to use that this stream.
That was amazing. I can't believe I just got citation needed. Isn't that awesome? So she's gonna use that whenever she does the Look at your face. Oh my God, that's so cool. You're the coolest person on earth. I have no idea how I got you. Amazing. She's going to use that when she does those live streams where she picks apart alien stuff. Citation needed. You need to have one that says, no.
What I should do that, but what I also want to do is like have marks out of 10 for the end of when I'm going through Ancient Alien live streams. For the end, I can give them marks out of 10 for how well they did. I'm not anticipating needing the higher numbers very often.
Understood. You're the coolest person. Oh my God. I love you. Okay.
I love you too. Moving on.
Okay, yes. The boat of heaven had already left the quay. I can't tell you how many times I pronounced that quai.
Yeah.
Quai. And the quai. Okay, anyway, sorry. As the effects of the beer cleared from him who had drunk beer, as the effects of the beer cleared from Father Enki who had drunk beer, the great Lord Enki turned his attention to the building. The Lord looked up at the Abzu. King Enki turned his attention to Eridu. Again, I need to point this out. One of the things that you see in Mesopotamian mythology, be it Sumerian or Akkadian, I think it develops more in the Akkadian text, but nonetheless, Enki is the trickster, right? Enki Ea, he's the guy that he's the smart one. He can manipulate the circumstances to his benefit, and so for him to get duped
is saying something.
It's playing with the genre, right? Because the reader expects Enki to be the wise one who does stuff. So in Enki and Horsag, for example, when Enki eats the fruits that have his semen on them, and it's a foolish thing. He's placed in a very foolish light, and that's playing with the genre. So, okay. Anyway,
sorry. Before you go on, LT Galloway has asked if we can get a citation needed T-shirt. We can definitely get a citation needed T-shirt. I will get that done this week. I have the graphics all ready to go.
Our audience is the most amazing.
I think they're the best. Smitty is asking, is Enki like Coyote or Loki? It's similar. He's less malevolent than Loki seems to be. My understanding of Norse mythology is quite shady and mostly based on comic books.
Thomas is trying to get
Thomas
down.
says hi. But yes, he tends to work against the other gods more than he works against humans. He saves humanity from the flood, and yeah. Trickster, but not mean.
Yeah. Okay. Enki spoke to Isimud the minister. Isimud, my minister, my sweet name of heaven. Enki, my master, I am at your service. What is your wish? Where are the office of En-priest, the office of Lagar-priest, divinity, the great and good crown, the royal throne? My master has given them to his daughter. Where are the noble scepter, the staff and crook, the noble dress, shepherdship, kingship? My master has given them to his daughter.
Oh dear.
Where are the office of Egirzi priestess, the office of the Nindingir, the people of the, I forget what he calls them, righteous fiery
rockets.
I don't remember. Bullshit. Sorry. The office of Ishib priest, the office of Lumach priest, the office of Gudug priest. My master has given them to his daughter. We can. I just wanted to read that part.
No, so the rest of the text goes through all of the things that Enki has missed because he's given them to Inanna, and Isamud says, well, you kind of gave them away. Sorry. And they chase Inanna down, and basically Isamud chases him down and takes back the gifts. Yeah. And Inanna is very upset by this. She's like, but he gave them to me. Why did he give them to me if he didn't want me to have them?
Do we know? Hold on. Do we know? Sorry, I'm trying to, because the end of the tablet's very fragmentary. No, maybe not the very end, but. Sorry, you can.
What you do?
Yeah. It's just so broken at the end. It's hard to get specifically at what happens in the story, but.
Oh, right. That's a good point.
I mean, but taking
she
the divine
goes
powers
back,
from
though.
Anyway, it's not really the point of what we're.
Yeah, actually, and no, you're right. Sorry, I misspoke. It's not explicit whether she takes them back to Enki or if she takes them back to Uruk. Because the ending is, or what we have of the ending is, you have someone talking to Inanna you have brought with you, and then naming all of the Mays. Although Enki comes down at the bottom and said, Enki spoke to Holy Inanna, in the name of my power, in the name of my Abzu, I will establish something in my Abzu for the woman. So maybe she gives them back and he is so grateful he does something for her.
It's tough. It's a tough story. Yes, so another frustrating part where it's broken.
Yes.
So I thought maybe we'd read one more. We've been going about an hour and a half almost. Yep. So Ornamu A. This is a story about Ornama dying.
Ornama was a king.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if this is a good one to read on Christmas. But it's gift giving. So I thought, okay. So one of the ideas, of course, in the ancient world is that when one dies, one is provided in their grave with grave goods, oftentimes as a way to bribe netherworld deities or individuals, whatever. So this is a story where that's explicitly talked about.
Whole thing?
No, I was just going to read this section, and then maybe we take some questions.
Sure. If you have questions, put them in there.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about one of the things that's coming up on our Digital Hammurabi book club.
Dun, dun, dun.
Debates.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But please, if you have questions, put them in the side chat and we'll get to them. Okay. So he has died. Everything's fallen apart on the earth. This is one of the tropes, one of the motifs.
I'm putting a link in the chat for anyone who wishes to follow along.
So, okay. So I'm just thinking where to start. Okay. Ornama, the son of Ninsumu, was brought to Arali, the preeminent place of the land, in his prime. So,
he died.
The netherworld, yeah. The soldiers accompanying the king shed tears. Their boat was sunk. Their boat is Ornama, was sunk in a land as foreign to them as Dilmun. It was stripped of the oars, punting poles, and rudder. the bolt was broken off. It stood in saltpeter. Sorry, now every time I see saltpeter, I think of that conversation that I had about Jesus and saltpeter. Okay. His donkeys were to be found with the king. They were buried with him. His donkeys were to be found with Ornama. They were buried with him. As he crossed over the land was deprived of its ornament. The journey to the netherworld is a desolate route. Because of the king, the chariots were covered over. The roads were thrown into disorder. No one could go up and down on them. The king was in charge, of course, of maintaining the roads in between, the different destinations inside the country. And so when the king dies, particularly if he's a good king, everything kind of falls apart. Because of Ornama, the chariots were covered over. The roads were thrown into disorder. No one could go up and down on them. He presented gifts to the 7 chief porters of the netherworld. As the famous kings who had died and the dead Ishib priests, Lumach priests, and Nindinger priestesses, all chosen by extispicy, announced the king's coming to the people, a tumult arose in the netherworld. As they announced Ornama's coming to the people, a tumult arose in the netherworld. The king slaughtered numerous bulls and sheep. Ornama seated the people at a huge banquet. The food of the netherworld is bitter. The water of the netherworld is brackish. The trustworthy shepherd knew well the rights of the netherworld. So the king presented the offerings of the netherworld. Ornama presented the offerings of the netherworld, as many faultless bulls, faultless kids, and fattened sheep as could be brought. Hi, Thomas. You want to come up? You want to read for a bit?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, what line did you go to?
88 to 91.
To Nergal, the Enlil of the netherworld, in his palace, the shepherd Ornama offered a spear, a leather bag for a saddle hook, a heavenly lion-headed imitum mace, a shield resting on the ground, a heroic weapon, and a battle axe, an implement beloved of Ereshkigal. To Ereshkigal, the mother of Ninazu, in her palace, the shepherd Ornama offered something which he filled with oil, a shagan bowl of perfect make, a heavy garment, a long fleeced garment, a queenly pallor robe, the divine powers of the netherworld.
And the edible rats.
Edible rats are not mentioned in
there,
unfortunately.
Rats.
Just briefly, we had a question. Theo Mickey asked what the longest ancient name is that we have come across in our research. I don't know if it's the longest, but one of the longer ones is actually the name Nebuchadnezzar, which is like a Hebrew mistranslation or phonetic rendition of the name Nabu-Kuduri-Utsur, which means Nabu did something. Nabu's a god. He was a scribal god.
Trying to think of a longer name. Yeah, there are a lot of long ones.
Yeah, so I think Nabu-Kuduri-Utsur at the moment is my long one, as it were.
Enki's mine. It may not be a long name. Penis.
We did quite well. It's been nearly an hour and a half.
It has. We did it. I was the one to say it.
You were.
It's just really weird.
To Namtar, who decrees all the fates, in his palace the shepherd Ornama offered perfectly wrought jewellery, a golden ring cast as of something barge, pure carnelian stone fit to be worn on the breasts of the gods. To Hushbisag, the wife of Namtar, in her palace the shepherd Ornama offered a chest with a lapis lazuli handle, containing everything that is essential in the underworld, a silver hair clasp adorned with lapis lazuli, and a comb of womanly fashion.
I mean, these are all deities, right, that are in the netherworld. Hi, Thomas. And the key here is that kings are supposed to be the ones that do things correctly, right? They follow the rights of the gods. They do so in a way that is perfect and blameless. They're the righteous shepherds, right? Mm-hmm. So not only does Ornama do that in life as a good shepherd of his people should, but now he's so good, right? He's so amazing that he fulfills the rights of the netherworld perfectly. And so he's being this amazing shepherd even there, taking care of the gods themselves, right? So Hi.
You can't see him, but Thomas is like wandering all over Josh's lap.
Sorry, buddy.
So we have a couple of questions. Tim Smith, were gifts given at death equal to common people as the leaders or kings? It's difficult to, I mean, no is the short answer, because common people did not have access to the resources that kings would do.
You talking about grave goods?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And grave goods in non-royal graves are very, very, very different to royal graves.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell that's one of the ways you can identify a royal grave. And it's not just that we say, well, this one has really expensive stuff in it, so we know it must be royalty. There are other markers that show up, for example, in the Tombs of War better than I do. But anyway, yeah.
So no.
That's all I really wanted to say about Ornama. I mean, it's sort of repetitious after that, but or repetitive after that. But
Smitty asked what the shortest name that we've come across is. I'd say Arn or Ea.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a one syllable, well, a one letter. Well, the thing is, see, Arn is a one sign name.
Yeah.
So, non-divine names, though, I don't know. They're tricky. Because they tend to have to, they tend to be sentences. Ancient names are not divine names, but ancient names tend to be whole sentences.
Mm-hmm.
So they tend to be a bit on the long side as far as modern sensibilities are concerned. Theomaki, is your cat's name Thomas or Thomas? Thomas. Named by Paige when she was 5.
Probably 3.
3. And Thomas, he has stayed.
So
that is us done for this evening. If you have any last minute questions, put them in the side chat. Josh is going to tell us a thing.
I'm going to talk quickly about, after we finish Gilgamesh, and I promise that we will.
We have one more tablet of Gilgamesh to go through.
I was thinking today, given all of the debates that are going on, that have been going on obviously, but for me, some of these debates are a newer thing here on YouTube. I thought maybe it would be a good idea to show you some ancient debates, because we have lots of them, actually, from Mesopotamia. It was one of the cool ways that before the king, at least that's the Tim Liebman that we think, these things were carried out. So actually, if you go to ETCSL and scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see the debates, some of the debates that we have. There are many of them that are not listed here, but I'll just read a portion of one. The debates are set between two obviously opposing things, and then the god judges the winner.
And when he says things, he's being literal. They're not between people, they're between inanimate objects and animals. And
sometimes you have debates between scribes.
That's true.
Actually, in a lot of ways, those are more insults they're all insults that are being hurled. There are lots of ad hominem attacks in these, just so you're aware. But I just thought I'd read some of it to you to kind of give you a taste. This one is between the hoe and the plow, which, in modern vernacular, could be the hoe and the plow.
No, it couldn't.
The hoe and the 🀭. Okay, sorry. Now, for those of you that have been with us for a while, that was funny. I hope. Okay, the hoe, having engaged in a dispute with the plow, the hoe addressed the plow. Plow, you draw furrows. What does your furrowing matter to me? You break clods. What does your clod breaking matter to me? When water overflows, you cannot dam it up. You cannot fill baskets with earth. You cannot press clay to make bricks. You cannot lay foundations or build a house. You cannot strengthen an old wall's base. You cannot put a roof on a good man's house. Plow, you cannot straighten the town squares. Plow, you draw furrows. What does your furrowing matter to me? You make clods. What does your clodding matter to me?
I like that clodding here is a verb.
Oh, yeah. The plow addressed the hoe. I am the plow, fashioned by great strength, assembled by great hands, the mighty registrar of Father Enlil. I am mankind's faithful farmer. To perform my festival in the fields in the harvest month, the king slaughters cattle and sacrifices sheep, and he pours beer into a bowl. The king offers the gathered libation. The ub and Allah drums resound. The king takes hold of my handles and harnesses my oxen to the yoke. All the great high-ranking persons walk at my side. All the lands gaze at me in great admiration. The people watch me in joy. The furrow tilled by me adorns the plain. Before the stalks erected by me in the fields, the teeming herds of Shakan, the god, kneel down. In performing my labor amid the ripened barley, I vie with the mighty Sith. After the scythe, sorry. Man, it's
channeling your inner Star Wars.
My inner Star Wars. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Sorry. After the reaped and the grain have been gathered, the shepherd's churn is improved. With my sheaves spread over the meadows, the sheep of Dumuzi are improved. Anyway, so you can hear. I'll go script down to the end. Ho, digging miserably. It's just funny. Ho, bitch bliss. Okay. Digging miserably, weeding miserably with your teeth. Ho, burrowing in the mud. Ho, putting its head in the mud of the fields. Spending your days with the brick molds in mud. With nobody cleaning you. Digging wells, digging ditches. Wood of the poor man's hand, not fit for the hands of high-ranking persons. The hand of the man-slave is the only adornment of your head. You deliver deep insults to me? Pfft, you compare yourself to me? When I go out to the plain, everybody looks on, but the hoe does not. Insultingly, you call me plow, the digger of ditches. Then the hoe responds, then the plow responds, then down at the end, of course, I won't read it. Well, let me get. Maybe I will. Who do you think wins this one? Hoe or plow? Put it in the side chat. If you think hoe wins, write hoe, H-O-E. If you think plow wins, write Shubistone. No, I'm just kidding. Write plow. I want to get a feel. There are lots of these, right? Lots of these, and sometimes they get kind of confusing because we don't know the insults as well as
ancient insults are really tricky.
Yeah.
Like really tricky.
But there are debates between or insults between two conversations and insults and stuff between two women, two scribes. There's all kinds of cool stuff. So we'll do a little work on this and do some
debates. Tim Smith reminded us Josh is on Aaron Ra's show tomorrow night. What time, Josh?
8 p.m. Eastern Central.
8 p.m. Eastern Central?
Eastern
Standard Time. Eastern Central is not a thing.
He's Central.
He's Central. So Eastern Standard Time on Aaron Ra's channel. So come and join them. They're going to be talking about the Book of Daniel, the prophecy contained therein, and specifically the dating of the Book of Daniel, which is a matter of some discussion. And while we just wait for that little poll that we've got going on to finish up, I have some really cool stuff going on in the new year. We've got a bunch of interviews lined up. If you are interested in watching our interviews and want to know when they are happening, go to digitalhammurabi.com/calendar. That contains the most up-to-date information about our planned live streams. Highly recommended. It's got dates and times and who we're going to be talking to. And I'm also planning on doing like a game stream looking at the historical context of Assassin's Creed, Origins and Odyssey. I have a couple of classicists and an Egyptologist who are all willing to come on, play the game through for us, and talk about their favourite historical features in the game. So that's going to be awesome. I don't have days for that yet because I'm still trying to work out the technical side of things, exactly how to get that to work. But it's really exciting and it's going to be so much fun. And I'm going to look at the poll and see who people think are going to win. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like 6 for plow and 2 for hoe.
All right. I'm going to read this one. The end. Enlil, the god, addressed the hoe. Hoe, do not start getting so mightily angry. Do not be so mightily scornful. Is not Nisaba, that's the grain goddess, the hoe's inspector? Is not Nisaba its overseer? The scribe will register your work. He will register your work. Ho, whether he enters 5 or 10 ging in your account. Ho, or ho, whether he enters 1/3 or 1/2 mana in your account. Ho, like a maidservant, always ready, you will fulfill your task. The hoe, having engaged in a dispute with the plow, the hoe triumphed over the plow. Praise be to Nisaba.
No one saw that one coming.
No one saw it. Well, 2 people did.
2 people did. We have one final question from 𝀭Maki. This is the last one we're taking, guys, because I do need to go to bed and Josh has to get up at 4 a.m. So, 𝀭Maki says, quick question. Which is your most and least favourite accurate historical film? My favourite least accurate historical film is probably going to be The Life of Brian or Monty Python and the Holy Grail. One of those 2. I enjoy them both equally. I can quote more of Monty Python, more of The Life of Brian from memory, though.
I don't think I heard the question.
So he wants our favourite... Oh, no, maybe I'm not understanding. So he said, which is your most and least favourite accurate historical film? Okay, so he wants accurate historical films.
I'd go with Avatar, but it's a little too accurate, so...
Indeed. I don't think I've ever watched any accurate historical films. I'm not entirely sure they exist. I don't much like history films, if I'm very honest.
I mean, I think Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail is pretty accurate.
I mean, relatively speaking.
Bring out your dead.
I'm
not dead yet. I want to go for a walk. I feel happy.
Anyway, we were supposed to be talking about
Yeah.
historical films.
I don't know that I have a good answer.
No, I watch a lot of science fiction and comedy. So not any accurate historical film. I'm really sorry. That's an awful answer for 2 historians to give. You give me some Monty Python and I'm very, very happy. And Josh likes Avatar. Juice. There we go. I like Kingdom of Heaven. I don't know anything about its accuracies because it's way out of my field.
Pulp Fiction. Which, ironically, is called Pulp Fiction. All right. I think it's probably good. Oh, man.
We should go now before this devolves into something absolutely awful. But thank you all for joining us. Merry Christmas, Happy Solstice.
Merry Christmas, Happy Solstice.
Whatever holiday you celebrate, even if you don't celebrate anything. I hope you had a wonderful day. We will be back soon. Josh is on Aaron Ra's show tomorrow, and I have the great pleasure of filming this week a response video to Göbekli Tepe, to the Ancient Alien Return to Göbekli Tepe video, which I expect will require an awful lot of this one. I expect to be using this a lot, but should be fun, and I'll try to keep the profanity to a minimum. We'll see.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm looking and I see 48 watching and 45 likes. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you want to get your cool Digital Hammurabi mug, I'm going to get 4.
4?
Maybe.
Okay.
I like them. But thank you guys so much for watching. And you good?
Yes.
All right. Well, you guys have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Solstice and New Year. And I'm sure we'll see you before then. But until next time, resist poor scholarship. Always ask, how do you know that? And we have to hit the button.
We do.